Part 10, Echoes Remain. The drive back felt less like escape than a slow diffusion, each mile unwinding the tension not with a clean snap, but a bleed into the Pewter, Michigan landscape. Leo was already re-immersed in Neo-Tokyo, his avatar a shimmering samurai oblivious to the real-world ache of half-packed suitcases and unspoken resentments. Eleanor scrolled through LinkedIn, a quiet hunt for a life less polished, less inextricably linked to partnership. Grandma Vivian, surprisingly silent, tracked the passing forests, her gaze reading their ancient grievances like Braille, and Arthur, steering the SUV, felt a curious lightness, the weight of expectation momentarily lifted, replaced by a simmering uncertainty that tasted faintly of freedom. The chipped porcelain jester, salvaged from the garage and riding shotgun, offered a slow, ceramic grin. It wasn't mocking this time, but something softer, almost sympathetic, as if it understood closure rarely arrived neat, more often splintered remnants of what was, clinging to lingering questions. The lake, shrinking in the rearview mirror, hadn't swallowed our anxieties whole. It had merely diluted them, scattering them amongst its vastness like sediments settling in deep water. A damp, earthy smell clung to the air even miles inland. Back home, things settled into a rhythm of almost normal. The chipped coffee mug returned to its place in the cupboard, its warmth familiar against Arthur's palms. He resumed his lectures on existentialism, finding new resonance in Kierkegaard's leap of faith. How much of life is simply choosing despite the absurd chasm yawning beneath our feet? He finished his tenure paper, an uneasy armistice with his own self-doubt, though triumph felt too strong a word for it. Eleanor began quietly reshaping her career path. A smaller firm, perhaps, one that valued work-life balance over relentless ambition, one where success didn't demand sacrificing every Sunday to the altar of productivity. She sketched out possibilities during late nights at the kitchen table, the soft glow of the lamp illuminating her face like a sculptor breathing life into clay. It wasn't a dramatic rebellion against her carefully constructed world. It was a gravitation towards solace, a tilting away from sheer momentum and towards something warmer, something hell. But sometimes she would pause mid-sketch and feel a flash of resentment at having to choose at all, at being expected to curate even her own contentment. Leo's immersion in VR lessened gradually. The glitches he'd noticed mirroring the real world hadn't vanished completely, but they felt less threatening now, more playful echoes than ominous warnings. One glitch in particular haunted him, an endlessly repeating cherry blossom falling in Neo-Tokyo that tasted like static on his tongue. He even joined a local Dungeons and Dragons group, discovering a different kind of connection, face-to-face banter, and shared imagination. A small victory against the pervasive pull of the digital realm, a reclaiming of tactile reality after years spent navigating pixelated landscapes. Clara continued to paint gestures, not mournful ones this time, but vibrant figures caught mid-dance, each brushstroke capturing a different facet of choice. Hesitation, joy, regret, acceptance. The scent of oil paint filled the living room now, thick and rich and somehow hopeful. Her canvas became a map of our family's emotional terrain. Not neatly charted, but beautifully chaotic, alive with color and subtle texture. The living room walls blossomed with them, transforming our house into an art gallery of our collective absurdities. Dinner became different, less strained conversation forced upon us by politeness, more comfortable silences punctuated by genuine curiosity. We weren't fully healed. We were simply aware of our wounds, acknowledging their slow throb instead of trying to bandage them with false cheer. The fried chicken tasted richer somehow, infused with a newfound appreciation for simple comforts. The crackle of skin under tooth and the savory rush of grease on the tongue. Then came the final cards, first tucked inside Arthur's favorite copy of Camus, The Myth of Sisyphus. A jester perched on Sisyphus' shoulder, whispering encouragement as he pushed his boulder uphill. Its clothing was threadbare but opulent, patched with velvet scraps and gilded buttons, and its expression wasn't mockery so much as wry acknowledgement. It changed everything. Suddenly Sisyphus' fate didn't seem so bleak, just persistent. Then another appeared wedged beneath Clara's drawing book. All members of our family depicted as jesters wearing sad expressions, yet each holding a single bright red balloon, a visual representation of hope amidst melancholy, resilience rooted in vulnerability. The balloons straining against invisible strings, ready to lift us higher or burst with sudden release. And finally, found on the kitchen table after breakfast, one simple card. Stay or go. No context, no explanation, just that tantalizing question hanging in the air like smoke from burning incense. It wasn't about leaving our house or even our lives. It was about staying present within them, embracing both comfort and chaos, acknowledging that both were necessary components of being alive. But it was Arthur who discovered the last one, almost casually. Slipping out from under his pillow as he turned for sleep, jesters were dancing, all sizes and shapes, leaping across an indigo sky, grinning and toiling and flinging confetti made from forgotten memories, accepting all outcomes with joyful abandon. A smile touched his lips, not quite relief, not quite joy, but something akin to recognition. It was as if he had been listening for this music all along, the joyful clamor of dancing jesters. And now, finally, he was ready to join their dance. Everything was absurd. Everything was beautiful. Everything was constantly shifting, and that was perfectly all right. The jester's echo wasn't about finding answers. It was about learning to listen to the symphony hidden within the noise. The symphony of choices played out across the stage of our lives. And sometimes, all you could do was join the dance, letting your feet follow where they may among swirling colors and echoing laughter.